Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us at World of Pets podcast. We love having you here on a weekly basis. And we want our pets to live as long as possible, but we want that to be a good quality life. So, to that end, we on this podcast explore all things about pets and animals so that we can have them around for a long time, but they are living a quality life. So, again, thank you for joining us. Take it away, hosts.
Welcome to
Hello.
World of Pets podcast. My new host, Anthony, is going to take this away.
Yes, I get to interview a very special guest today, but we'll get into that in a minute. Welcome to the World of Pets podcast, our weekly podcast on all things pets. Of course, always brought to us by debspets.com. That's DEBSPETS.com. Say that one 5 times fast, David. Our guest tonight is David, my normal co-host, and we have a new addition to the family. So tell us a little bit about what we're talking about tonight, David.
All right, so we're talking about Fluffy Poo and how adopting an older dog and what that process is and how to get them to adapt and how you get to adapt to them. So it's going to be very, very fun.
Yeah. Ironically enough, you adopted your dog within the last couple of weeks, and this morning I got a text message from a friend of mine who said, "Oh, we really like your dog. My kids and I are looking into adopting a dog ourselves. What kind of breed do you have?" So I was able to have a
Um,
conversation with him about adopting a dog.
That's
So
great.
that's pretty
That's
cool.
great.
Um,
Yeah.
so we all knew about Peyton Pooh, and of course, she loved Peyton Pooh, and Peyton Pooh, unfortunately, didn't make it. And but now you welcome Fluffy Pooh into the family. How did you know, David, that you were ready for more companionship?
Well, first of all, it was a year and a half since I lost Peyton Poo. And just run him across the screen real quick.
Yeah, there he is. There's the guy. There's the guy, the man himself.
and since my dog likes to be flashy,
Yeah.
it's just a dimension thing with the background. Anyways, I think he's from outer space, but I'll let him go because I know he's uncomfortable. My my daughter works for the Humane Society here in Colorado Springs, and she sent me a picture of him, and I was like, and she said we must have. I was like, it's about time. Cool. I told her the next time that she came across the dachshund to let me know. And he's a perfect blend of um, Peyton Pooh's dad and Peyton Pooh. That's why we named him Fluffy Pooh because Peyton's dad was a long-haired silver doppel, and we called him Fluffy Butt. And
Okay.
then of course we had because my I've had four dachshunds, so I had Daisy. When I got Duke, clearly that was the connection there, Daisy Duke, and then Duke's a hazard, if you will. And then we got Bella, and then Duke and um,
Oh,
Bella
oh,
had
here
Peyton,
comes one right
litter
now.
of one. And so I had Dookie Doo, Bella Boo, and Peyton Poo. So I'm keeping the Pooh tradition alive, if you will.
That
And
almost sounds like something that needs to happen in the bathroom and not out in public.
I try to do it inside. But no, it was a really good experience. She sent me a picture. I was like, oh my dog, I must have him too. Like I was ready. And he had a bunch of medical stuff that needed to be done, but it was all just like dental and sinus infection and that kind of stuff. And so she put a hold on him until after all of his medical was done. So that's one of the bonuses of going through a shelter or um, humane society, if you will, is that they take care of all those expenses and then you just pay an adoption fee. So I only paid $200 for him, and that whole process would have cost me over $3,000
Yeah, that's pretty
because
good.
dachshunds are going for at least 1,200 to $2,000 right now, just for the dog, and then the dental work would have been almost 2 grand too. So
Right.
yeah, it saved me a bunch of money. He's super spry for his age too. I mean, he jumps right up in the car. I thought he didn't speak English at first, but turns out he does listen. I thought he was deaf. I'm not even joking. He didn't bark for a few days, and wasn't going through normal I don't know, commands, if you will. And so I started using hand signals with him, which he responded very well to, by the way. And so that's kind of where it went, but I was still doing the verbal with him in the meantime. Um, and the, I don't know, I think that the turning point was like I started doing the whistle with him. That's when I knew he could hear. Where's my puppy? You know, and he'd start coming. So it's important to have that one command where you can find them when they're in the yard and they're not nearby you. So I've got a
Right.
fenced backyard. I can let him out there. He just moseys around. He loves it. I've got roommates with 3 big dogs, and it's a little sketchy, but not too bad. So he's already learned the perimeter of the front area, so I can let him off leash to go potty out front, and he doesn't run off. And so he's really well trained. But I think the important lesson from that is just testing their particular knowledge, see where their owners trained them previously, because he was a voluntary release. I forget the technical term, but yeah, it was
Voluntary surrender. Yeah.
voluntary surrender. That's what it is.
Oh my goodness.
And so they probably gave him up because they couldn't afford the bills. And you could feel his ribs real easy, all that stuff. And in the last 14 days, I got him up to 9.1 pounds,
Awesome.
and he's nice and fluffy. He's going to get defluffed next Tuesday. He's going to get groomed. He's cleared for grooming. He's updated on all of his shots as of today. So, um, and I appreciate the vet that we went to, and it's Bijou Animal Hospital in Colorado Springs. So I'll give them a shout out. They did a great job.
Nice. Good.
So
Yeah. Now my dog has decided it's her job to steal the show. She will not stay off my lap tonight. She's
no, I thought that was your beard.
yeah, right. I don't have quite that much white in my beard right now, but we're getting there. But yeah, she's in a cuddly mood apparently tonight, which is fine with me. But oh, she's saying hi, hello.
That's
Um,
good.
so anyway, well, that's great. Yeah, most shelters, like I know our main shelter, our bigger one, we have some smaller ones around our county, but the main one here in Tucson, they always give you like either a coupon for either free or discounted vet visit, depending on where you go. But they also do basic medical and vet checks on the animals, so you pretty much know what you're getting when you get the animal. And actually,
Yeah.
both of the dogs we have, uh, um, both of the dogs that we have, we rescued from the shelter, and there's just something about rescue dogs that I like. I know that some people say you're taking a chance, you never know what you're going to get, but it's when we got our dog back in January, the one that my daughter got for Christmas. We remember talking about the threes, how it takes a dog like 3 weeks to adjust, or 3 days, 3 weeks, and 3 months. And she's fully acclimated now, but it works in those threes. So you and Fluffy Poo are right there at that 3 week mark. She should start getting used to, a new routine and everything.
Absolutely. He's doing great, and I couldn't be happier. The fact that he can still jump up on the couch. If I leave him alone, he starts whining. But anytime he's in my presence, we've already bonded. It's amazing. I can't believe it.
I mean, dogs, it reminds me, and I know it's different because it's a human being, but it kind of reminds me of the story of when we adopted my son. So anybody that knows me knows that my youngest child, my son, is adopted. He's lived with me and his mother, my ex-wife, since he was 1 month old. So we are all he's ever known. Um, but the second I held him in my hands when he came into our home at 1 month old, I knew that he was my son. Like we were doing foster care, but I automatically knew like this bond was here, or something the Lord just put there that I knew was going to happen. And for some reason, it's the same way with animals, especially with dogs. But I mean, I've seen it with horses, horses that nobody else could tame or control, and the right trainer gets with that horse, and it's just like an instant connection. And it's
Yeah.
the same thing with dogs. Like when I was looking for Cobb, this one here, she almost instantly bonded with me and started doing this kind of stuff where she cuddles and she gets up with you and she does those kind of things. And so having that quick connection, we actually have a picture of your daughter with the dog, huh?
Yeah, I think we do.
Yeah, look at that.
That's adoption day. That's it. That's his new birthday. 12-year-old new birthday.
Nice. Nice.
Yep.
So I've got to ask you, David, can you teach an old dog new tricks?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And so I'm working on some new ones. The one thing that's really great is that I get him to lay on his bed and stop trying to pull it out into the driveway.
Hmm.
And so now he does not do that anymore because we wrestled over it a few times. He's like, it's not worth the effort. And I thought that that was, just the perfect thing. As soon as he got it out from under the chair underneath me, like I would pull it back and he'd be like, what are you doing? And I'm like, hey, it belongs under here.
That's right.
So now when I put him on the leash, which is cool, I'll tell you about that in a minute. But now he just goes right under there and lays down and doesn't try and move the bed. And the cool thing is, because the leash that I got from the Humane Society, he must have been trained into that
Mm,
previously, which is the one with just the loop on the end.
yeah.
And all I have to do is open the loop and he walks right into it. So that's like totally bizarre to me because I used to have to, you
Huh.
know, wrestle my dogs to get them hooked up and all that. Unless you say we're going for a walk. Where you go?
This one, this
he
one heard
just
you
went.
too.
He just went to the door.
She heard you
soon,
too. She perked right up. She was like,
as
ooh.
soon as I said that, he's like, "Whoop," back to the
Did he
door.
say the W word? Oh, I'm sorry.
um, but no, he's been a treat, and he just got cleared from the vet today, so he can get groomed. And so we'll defluff him next Tuesday, and then he'll be almost fluffy poo.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see updated pictures of him not
Yeah.
so fluffy.
Yep. Well, he's got mats that he won't let me
We'll call
take
him
off.
Simi Poo because he'll be semi fluffy.
Fluffy poo. He's got mats that he won't let me do, even a couple dingle things on his ears and stuff like that. As soon as I bring out the scissors, he's like, "Nope, nope." Like, all right, I'll just get you dunked over at the groomers. And my friend's a groomer, Jennifer Stressman. And so it's a 30-minute drive to her, but it's worth it. She's been a groomer for a long time.
Good.
So she's based out of Fountain now.
We had a animal groomer on the show just last week, so it's kind of coming full circle that we're talking about that again.
Exactly, exactly.
But yeah, for sure. Well, that's all good news. Now about Fluffy Poo and adopting an older dog, were you necessarily looking for an older dog, or is it just happened to be what was there and your daughter knew the connection would be there? Or...
Yeah, so I was looking for a rescue. I was looking for a dog that was a dachshund specifically because I know the breed very well because I've had four previously. I know their stubborn behaviors and all that stuff, and how much energy they can have, and that helps bring up my energy too. So when she sent me pictures, I was like, and she was like, "We must have this dog." I was like, "Okay, fine, we shall have that dog." I said, "Just make sure that all the medical's done before you lock in the reservation on him."
Yeah.
and he's acting exactly like my other dachshunds. Super high energy. The only thing he doesn't do is sleep with me yet, but I think that's just probably because he wasn't told to. He was probably kenneled at night, is my guess.
Mhm.
But I give him the openness. So funny habit. So I have my dirty clothes on one side, like day one.
Yeah, that's yeah. Go ahead for the story. Go ahead.
And he's just cleaned them out. I'll spread them all over my room, dude. I'm like,
He had
what?
the Cinderella effect, right? Like,
So I pick it up, and then he clean them out, and I'm pick them up, clean them out. I'm like, you know what? Fine. I'm gonna go wash these, and then I'm gonna keep him on my bed and see if he'll come into my bed. So he'll sit on my bed for a minute while I'm petting him, but he won't go up there the whole time. But he did clean out my closet, and now he has his favorite spot in the corner where he pulled the stuff out of my closet. So I'm just leaving that for now. That's his happy place. He's got the blanket that he was brought home in, also right behind me, which is where he's sitting right now. And so he's got his sniffs on everything. That's what I love about dogs is they know the sniffs. And but other than that, it's been a really good experience. This is the first time I've not had a dog from a puppy, by the way. So adopting a dog is very new to me. I've always
yeah.
had puppies. You get to train them the way you want, and it's like raising a child. Essentially, this is like raising myself,
Yeah.
if you will.
She was 9 weeks old when we adopted her, so I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a different thing to go from a 12-year-old dog, and it's been super enjoyable. And the breed lives for up to 20 years, so I wasn't worried about that. And I since I know how to raise him, he's already gained weight, and then over all of his infections and everything like that.
You said the
He
breed
just
lives up to 20 years. There's this episode of King of Queens where somehow they got to talking about adopting a pet, and he said he wanted to adopt a parrot, but those things lived to be 80, and he didn't want his pet outliving him. So,
I, I think I remember that, oddly enough. Yeah,
he's
it's
like, you can't have your
interesting.
pet outliving you. He was like,
Well, and that's he's registered under my daughter. So if anything does happen to me at all, it's not going to be a legal transaction that has to happen.
oh, nice. Yeah.
So I'm just officially the dog sitter permanently.
I mean, that's not a bad deal. So, um, he goes back and forth with you to a lot of places. Like he'll go to your mom's with you. He goes to your house.
Yeah,
How does
he's
he
not.
do with that? Does he enjoy being in the vehicles? How does he do with that?
Judy jumps right up in the car, first of all,
Okay.
and he'll sit on my lap the whole time. He always wants to look out the window. And I did take him to church his first week, and just put him in a carry-on bag, and he did great. And then at mom's house, they don't like animals specifically, and so he's not allowed inside. But I can tie him out front, and he won't run away. He'll just whine at the door, and then I put him in his bag, and he'll come and he'll be quiet when he's sitting right next to me. So he's clearly been kennel trained for sure. I'm not a big fan of people that don't allow pets around them, but it is what it is. Everybody's
I don't allow pets anywhere near me.
yeah, nowhere, nowhere, especially not close to your beard.
No.
So I don't get it, but I've had conversations with them. With the other side of my family, all of them have dogs. It's just my side of the family never had dogs. And when I did get my first dog, I fell in love, and I had to get because what happened was my ex-wife. She came home. She was on the road driving a truck with her brother, and she came back with a little Daisy, little teeny tiny Daisy Dachshund.
Oh,
I
nice.
fell in love. I was like, "Where'd you get that dog?" She's like, "Right up here in Divide." I was like, take me to that place. I want my own. And that's where I got Duke.
Yeah, I want one. Yeah.
So dachshunds have always been one of my favorite. And the reason I fell in love with the breed, mainly is because um, this guy I was contracting through when I laid carpet. I did work at his dad's house, and the dachshunds were sitting out front, literally off leash in the yard, and they wouldn't leave. They go up to the sidewalk, and that was it. And we're talking by a busy street. I was like, okay, so these dogs know their perimeter. They know where
Yeah.
they're doing. Is they're well trained, easy to train, apparently. I found out that that is a fact. They're easily trained. They're very smart dogs, and that's why too. I wasn't overwhelmed when I, found out how old Fluffy was. I was like 12 years old. I was like, that's still doable.
Yeah.
That's still doable. So he's a great companion. He's always by my side. If I'm not there, he's whining. So it's a good thing.
His personality as you're approaching that 3 week mark and he's becoming more and more comfortable and used to the new routines. Is he more playful? Is he more docile? Is he more
Yeah.
serious?
So that's the thing. After today's vet visit, so he does have a heart murmur, but it's on a level 2 out of 6, is what they said. I'm not. I have to look more into that and see what that means. But he's allowed to go on walks. Just need to monitor, like if he suddenly wants to lay down and not do anything in the middle of the walk, then just pick him up and carry him home. That's kind of the way that the vet told me to treat it for now. But she's like, you can walk him all you want. If you want to play fetch with him, you can play fetch with him now. Because when he had his dental work done at the Humane Society, he had a hole to his palate, so we were waiting for that to clean up. So he doesn't have any of his front teeth. Like I have to.
Oh, poor guy.
I know. Oh, tell me about it, because I got to hand feed him. That's the other thing is, once they do, dachshunds are known for having, you know, bad dental issues. Peyton did, and his tongue. After I had his dental work done, his tongue would just hang out the side of his mouth all the time.
Right. Yeah.
So, and little Fluffy has a little limp lip. So,
Well, that doesn't make him any less valuable as an individual, right? So he's well,
no,
that's
and his,
great, David. I'm happy that you were able to find a dog. Your daughter was able to help you with that process, and it's
yep,
it's it's always interesting to me how she knew right away like this dog was going to connect with you, and this was the perfect companion for you, and she was right. And that's great, man. I'm so thrilled for you. So what advice would you give? Well, let's talk about two things and wrapping it up. Number one, how different is adopting an older dog from raising it from a puppy? What are the different challenges? And then number two, what advice would you give to somebody that's looking to adopt a dog? Would you say, in my experience thus far, I would lean more toward the younger dogs or more toward the older dog?
well, both. I can answer both of those at the same time. If you want them trained into a certain way specifically, then it's important to get them as a puppy, right? If you're willing to take on the challenge of a dog that's elderly and has been raised by somebody else, then you're going to learn. You're going to need to know how to have patience. You're going to have to discover them just like they're discovering you, because they already know how humans behave from the environment that they came from, and then but you don't know the humans that they experienced that with previously. So puppies, if you want them the way you want them, fine, go with a puppy. If they're expensive, you're going to have more medical bills along the way. But if you adopt a dog, chances are most of their medical expenses have already been done, and so there'll be a cheaper fee for adoption, which is what I experienced. So yeah, it would have cost me over $3,000 over his lifetime, just to adopt him as a puppy, and the medical bills for his dental. Just that alone. Don't forget the regular checkups and vaccines and all that stuff that they do.
Right.
So yeah,
Exactly.
he's fully vaccinated, and as to date, he's only cost me $247.
It's awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
Well,
So
David, it was nice of you to come on tonight. We'll have to have you back on the show. Maybe next week you can come on and co-host with me. I know that that's not something you do on a regular basis, but we'd love to we'd love to have you back. Um, well, we're glad that we have a new member of the family. Like I said, when we got Rosie, our newest addition, back in January, we did a couple episodes on her, and just thrilled that we're able to do some now on Fluffy Poo. You'll have to keep us updated with the new haircut look so we can see, maybe do like a before and after type of deal, right?
yeah,
Like before the grooming, after the grooming, and
trust me, that's happening.
take, take a look at, see what that looks like. But man, we're just thrilled to death for you, buddy. So anything you want to put out there in closing, go for it.
Yeah, just go find me over in my other podcast on Rumble for Peyton Poo. It's listed here below. And then I write very positive music in all genres, from country to metal and even classical waltzes, over on Suno, under the surname Wolfie, all capitals, by the way. And I gotta look up and see what my actual @ is for the next show. But yeah, go check me out there. We're all about positivity, and um, go check out debspets.com. That's DEBSPETS.com. Hey, look, let me see how many times I can do that fast. DEBSPETS.com. DEBSTP.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right, brother, close us out.
All right. As always, we want to thank you guys for listening today, and we want you to know that you are valued and loved. If there's anything that we can do for you, please reach out to us. If we can't do it, we'll find somebody who can. As always, we'd rather have that 3 a.m. conversation with you than to wake up a few hours later and see your name in the headlines. So please feel free to reach out.
Thank you. I'm glad that you joined us for At World of Pets podcast. We would like for you to take a look at what our sponsors have to offer, and that sponsor is debspets.com. You can access it through the QR code, or you can just go to the website. So thank you for joining us, and hope to see you again next week.